Good morning, guys. Besides a little bit of a stuffy nose and a cough that doesn't want to go away, I finally feel back to myself. My voice needs a little bit of work, but it's mostly back to normal. I'm a little bit behind today, but I'm about to drink this because I just took Trikafta, but it's 12:30. But I think I'm on day 5 of antibiotics right now. So halfway through, and it's finally working. Yesterday was the first day where I felt pretty much normal, but I wanted to see how the day played out before I picked up the vlogs again, and it was fine. This morning I'm fine, so I'm picking up the vlogs again. I slept pretty fitfully last night, which I'll talk about that later, because I've just kind of been thinking about 2021 as we're getting closer to the holidays. But besides that, I'm just glad whatever that sickness was is gone. It was the weirdest thing ever. The strangest thing for me was I've been sick multiple times this year, but whatever this sickness was like elevating my blood sugars for 2 or 3 days, like into the almost hit 230 one time, and then it was like 180 if I just ate a couple of pretzels and stuff. It was super weird. But and then cough, lost my voice, sore throat, fever. One day I pretty much slept all day. It was just interesting, but it's gone. So I am very, very thankful for that. And as I said when I left the hospital, and I will say now, can we be done for this year? Can we just be done? no more sickness. Let's just be done. We'll see how that plays out. But anyway, just thought I'd let you guys know that I am finally pretty much back to myself. Hey guys, so now I've finished everything that I need to finish. It's 1:10. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm caught up now. And apologies if I end up speaking really loud because my ears are clogged up, and hopefully I won't make you go deaf. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this in my previous little clips I've done, but there was supposed to be a Christmas tree there 2 days ago, but we decided to wait till Thanksgiving because of everything on the 12th going on. It was just not a good day to do it. So we're just waiting till Thanksgiving afternoon to put all that up. But anyway, the main purpose of, oh, and one other thing before I get into the main purpose, it's cold in Florida again. The days I was sick, it was like 75, beautiful, and now it's cold again, of course. But anyway, the main purpose of today's vlog that I wanted to get into, because I was thinking about it last night and this morning, is we're coming towards the end of this year, which is crazy to me, actually. There's 47 days left in 2021, and we're rapidly approaching the holiday season. Thanksgiving is less than 2 weeks away. Christmas is pretty close. New Year's is really close. And it's that time of year for me personally where I start thinking back over the year. And for 2020 and 2019, I think I just did a video about it. But for this year, that just doesn't seem right. I just kind of want to talk about it. This year was weird. The only thought that comes to my mind when I try to think over this year is, you've been a weird one. A really weird one. Weird good, weird bad, weird, just weird. Yeah. It's hard to comprehend around this year, and I think for a period of time I really hated this year. I hated this year with a passion, but it's been so strange. This might get long too, so apologies for that. Hopefully I won't run out of camera space, but you know, the beginning of this year was really good and not so good. I've struggled with the PMDD since 2019, and I didn't know until September of this year what it was when I started getting treatment for it, and now it's a whole lot better. but that didn't help me, you know, at the beginning of this year. So the beginning of this year, you know, I started watching Mason, and after like the first 2 weeks or so, I also had Panda there with me. And so it was like this routine of, it was pretty soon after the new year. I think it was like January 13th, 14th, somewhere around there. Sunday night through Wednesday evening, I would be at my sister's house watching Mason, and Wednesday evening through Sunday afternoon, I'd be here. And it was something that at the beginning I wasn't too sure about. I was terrified that I had a baby's life in my hands, but I began to really enjoy it. It gave me a job, it gave me a little bit of breakup in my week, and there were some weeks I was super tired and didn't want to do it, but on the whole, it was something that I really enjoyed. It was this new rhythm to start the new year, and it was really great for me. And I say that everything wasn't peachy and roses because I was still struggling with the PMDD, so on this cyclical cycle, that's a sentence, cyclical cycle. Is that even a thing? I don't know. Anyway, I would be happy and then really depressed. And so during the start of this year, I was still struggling with all of that, and it was something I couldn't comprehend at the time because it was like, what's going on, you know? I love what I'm doing, but I still feel sad half the time. And so that kind of continued through, and then in February, you know, I had fun. I celebrated Panda's 8th birthday with him. It was something I always look forward to every year, February 11th. And still was watching Mason, and just February, I think, ended up being a pretty good month. Then March rolls around, and I don't really remember much of it, to be honest. Besides like watching Mason and stuff. I do remember I also struggling with PMDD and stuff, but I don't think there was anything particular in March that was bad. I think February and March were pretty good months on the whole for me. And then April. And that's kind of where it kind of took a downhill turn. You know, April 5th was when Panda died, and around that time period was around the same time the PMDD was acting up. So I was already feeling depressed, and then Panda died, and that is definitely the #1 terrible thing that happened this year. I still miss that dog like crazy, but so that kind of threw me down, and it kind of just was a downhill slope from then for quite a while. You know, I know April I also got the COVID vaccines. The first one, I got the second one in May. So that was a positive thing, and in April, I brought home a foster dog for 2 days and ended up taking him back because he wasn't a good fit for our family. So I never really got attached to that foster dog either. He didn't fit in with us, but, so then April and May were kind of like survival mode. Like I said, I really don't remember much of May at all. I was at a very dark place, and that continued for several months. And then June comes around, and I think June, as hard as losing Panda in April was, I think June was the worst month of this year for me. And I think that's when I hit my lowest point. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. I've been in the hospital in April and May for a time when I didn't know was the reactive hypoglycemia. But then in June was when I ended up figuring out that I had, in May, I'd started getting the glucometer and the test strips and all that. I didn't have the CGM at that point. And I was kind of figuring out this pattern, and then June is when I had my CF appointment and talked to them about all this, and that's when I ended up getting the CGM trial and getting diagnosed with the reactive hypoglycemia. And that's when I think that was hard for me to accept at first because it was something that I realized was probably going to be the rest of my life. You know, it could go away someday, I don't know. But for 99% likely, this is something I'm going to have to deal with for the rest of my life. It's probably somehow CF related. And that took me a while to accept that. That I couldn't just be carefree anymore about going out for a run after I ate, or, you know, it was just something else I had to pay attention to at that point. And that also, blood sugar out of control led to my weight being so terrible. But June also was when I had that ICU trial, which was really scary for me. June was when my friend's health was not in a very good place, and I honestly thought I was going to lose him, and I was crying so much. And June was when the depression got really, really loud, and I just didn't want to be here anymore. And I look back at June, and I don't even know how I got through it sometimes, but I did. And so the summer goes on, and I'm kind of, by mid-July, I'm kind of adapting and getting back to feeling a little bit better. And then my birthday comes around, which was hard for me because I was turning 23, and Brooke died at 22, and I was 19 when she died, and it just didn't feel right to be older than her. And so even though it was a good day, it was difficult to process as well. And to make a long story short, summer was very, very dark. Something I don't ever wish to repeat. I mean, there was good things over the summer. I got to meet the Foles, Biscuit and Maddie. You know, I got to spend more time in Arkansas because of COVID being less and being vaccinated. But on the whole, the summer of 2021 was a terrible time. It's just what it was. But thankfully, it didn't end there. As fall came around of this year, things started to improve. And I got in September, I believe. I don't exactly remember, honestly, but I think it was in September. I got the diagnosis for the PMDD, and soonish after, maybe a couple of weeks, I started the Lorena, and I'm finally seeing improvements from that after 2.5 months. Major improvements. So that is a very big positive. I found out that I have another nephew coming in March. I don't know, the fall started off pretty bad. Let me just be blunt there, but I think as we transitioned out of summer and into fall, I realized that I kind of looked at it as like a clean slate. Summer's over, leave it behind me. And although it did some things to me, it got better. And then October, just last month, you know, I had some scares in the hospital with the hypoglycemia, and then the fishbone whole ambulance hoopla, emergency surgery endoscopy fun thing. But besides that little blip of time, I think after that hospital stay is when things just change. Before that, in the beginning of October, the PMDD, the Lorena, made it so much worse at first. So much worse. And so that same depression, terribleness was there, but like magnified, and I hit another super low point. I think comparative to the one I had in June. And it was after that hospital stay in the middle of October that things changed. I think the meds started working. I think I also just realized how much, no matter what my mind was saying to me, how much I wanted to be alive. And I felt this sense of peace. I felt this sense of calm. I felt this feeling of finally being in control and taking back some of what the year had taken from me. And that has continued. I haven't had any more of those thoughts, which is just incredible. After the hospital stay, I dealt with a lot of anxiety, but that's kind of, tapered down. And I would say right now, here in the middle of November, I am better than I have been since the beginning of this year. What to take away from 2021, I don't know. So many lessons learned and places that I would have much preferred to never have been in. Some things that I will never get back. In regards to losing Panda, I thought by now I would have another dog, and also I kind of forgot about this, but we brought home Dobby in July and had him like a week and a half, I think, and then we took him back. He was also a foster dog, and I thought I was going to keep him, and I got a little bit attached to him, but then it just wasn't the right fit, and that kind of hurt, more so because I felt really bad for Dobby, but he's since been adopted. But I don't know when I'll love another dog again. I really don't. Obviously I love Yachty, who's behind me right now, but in regards to having my own dog, I really don't know. I don't know. I've never gone this long without my own dog since a long time, because when Bella died in 2013, I got Panda 11 days later, and it's been, 7 months, I think, since Panda died, and I'm still not ready. That might take a long time, I don't know. I have Bolt, which has been a lot of fun, and it's been fun to have my first betta fish, but it's completely different than a dog. And I also want to mention of the good thing that happened this year. I think I already mentioned about, another nephew coming. But what do I take away from this year is something that I think I'm thinking about a lot. I think this year kind of installed in me waiting for the next shoe to drop, in a sense, because it seemed like every time things got a little bit better, something went really wrong. And so I think that's something I'm trying to push away and just fully embrace the holiday season. And I think some of what happened this year has left me really scared about 2022, which worrying about 2022 in 2021 is really not a healthy mindset. And it's something that I have to kind of push this repetitive thought out of my head. I don't really want to talk about it out loud, but I have to push this repetitive thought out of my head and realize that whatever happens in 2022 is 2022's business, and I need to leave that well enough alone for now. I hope in time, when I look back on 2021, it's kind of like now looking back on 2018. 2018 was a terrible year. The year Brooke died, I broke my ankle, and it was just a bad year. But I also look back at 2018 now, and I see that we moved that year, that it taught me things, that it broke me, but it made me stronger. And though, just like I would give anything to have Brooke back, I would give anything to have Panda back, it's a different kind of thinking. When I just hope someday when I look back on 2021, I'll look back at like I do at 2018 and realize it broke me in ways I could have never envisioned when January 1st was here. But it also put me back together and gave me things and made me stronger. And I can't say that I like this year, but I can't say that I hate it either. It's been a weird one. That's the only thing I can come up with. This year broke me mentally, physically, spiritually. Some things that I still can't wrap my head around. But this year also strengthened me and showed me how beautiful the light can be after the darkness. And gave me hope that even when things are just terrible, they get better, and taught me that giving up is never an option, because you'll turn around one day and you'll be smiling. And so I don't know what to say, except for here comes the holidays, and I want to not let the burdens and the pain that still follow me from the past 11 months take over the joy and the beauty that is this time of year, the most wonderful time of the year. Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, holiday time. It's something that I love. And, you know, I remember last year, it was something that was actually not very good for me. Like, I remember crying on Christmas Eve. And I also remember walking with Panda with reindeer antlers and a Santa hat on Christmas Eve. And I'm so glad I did that now. I'm so glad I did that now. It was kind of a last minute thing, and I'm so thankful for that memory. So I think this year I want to take back some of that, because December last year was a really hard month. I want to take back some of that, and I want to say, 2021, you were a mess, you were weird, you were broken, but thank you. And I want to enjoy what's left of it, not rush ahead into 2022, not overthink 2022, and just enjoy right now. Because right now, no matter what's happened the past 11 months, right now, everything is okay. Right now, everyone is here. Right now, we're going into Christmas time. Right now, it's sunny outside. Right now, I just got over my sickness. Right now, I'm here. My loved ones are here. Even though I miss Panda terribly, everyone else is here. And I don't want to let that go to waste, because if there's anything this year's taught me, it's that you never know what's around the corner. And that can be super scary, but that also means right now means a lot more. So that's my thoughts, if that made sense. It's kind of hard to completely wrap this year in and figure it all out, but maybe I won't until a couple of years from now. So 2021 has been a weird one, but I am really looking forward to the holiday season.